fighting the government within the government, and they control our government.
Could I be crude?
Of course.
Americans are taking it up the ass without lube.
What are your thoughts on MPD becoming feds now?
What's MPD?
MPD is like Metro Police. That's like the D.C. Police Department. They're feds now, basically. They're basically feds now.
I don't like that one bit.
What's up, y'all? My name's Tony, and welcome to the next episode of Downtown Dialogue, where today we are in Washington, D.C. for what is probably the first of many stories we're going to hear about Donald Trump's reach for more power. Just yesterday, Donald Trump evoked a section of the Home Rule Act of 1973, which essentially means that the federal government can take control of D.C. in a time of a health emergency. What public safety emergency, you ask? Well, Donald Trump has claimed that D.C. is one of the most dangerous cities in the entire world. Not exaggerating. He said that shit.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse.
But is that true? Well, let's look at the facts. In terms of crime, D.C. right now is at a 30-year low. In the 90s, D.C. had its biggest spike in crime, and we haven't seen violence like that in the city since a while. This year, violent crime is down 26% overall compared to last year, and so is robbery, down by just 28%. While it is worth noting that the D.C. Police Union has said that those numbers might be a little mixed, it still does not compare anywhere near to how D.C. was in the 90s, and D.C. right now doesn't even make the top 25 list of the most dangerous cities in the United States. Well, federalizing D.C. doesn't only mean that Donald Trump holds the key to the city. It also means that MPD, D.C.'s police department, is now federally controlled.
This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that.
On top of this, federal agencies have been deployed to the city like the ATF, DEA, FBI, and ICE to stop and frisk citizens, check IDs, and arrest if necessary.
You got your ID on you, Chip?
No, I live right here.
Okay, cool.
It's a cigarette. Did y'all get a call or something about right here?
No, so we're doing checks, keeping everybody safe down here, right? Have you heard of the federal surge that Donald Trump's putting out? All right, so yeah, Trump's got all federal agencies kind of coming together for 7 days and going out, trying to stop the violent crime, all kind of stuff. So we're out here contacting people, talking to them, right? Quality of life offenses, smoking, drinking in public, right? Can't happen outside, right? Most people know that.
The National Guard has also been deployed to D.C. to come help with the crime issue.
Saying, quote, "Before the tint, squalor, filth, and crime, it was the most beautiful capital in the world. It will soon be that again." Trump posting, "The homeless have to move out immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the capital."
You don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed?
Someone argued that the Trump administration is just trying to position themselves as harder on crime. Donald Trump said himself on August 11th at the press conference that it was going to be Liberation Day in D.C. In reality, it could be an effort to undermine democratic leadership across cities in the country, and also to take more of an authoritarian control and approach of all major cities in the United States. Trump did say himself in the press conference that other cities could be next.
We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick.
So today, we're boots on the ground in Washington, D.C. to talk to residents, talk to MPD officers, maybe talk to some National Guard members, and figure out what is going on. We're going to see what the local residents of D.C. think about the federalization, what MPD thinks about becoming feds, and how dire the situation is or isn't. Holy shit, there's a guy just driving through here. Sir, your thoughts on the federalization? Your thoughts on the federalization of D.C.? What are your thoughts on the federalization of D.C.? Thank you. That's what he thinks. So let's get to the streets and figure out what the hell is going on. That look cool. What are your thoughts on the homeless being displaced due to these new policies?
I feel that this is a form of communism at minimum wage. you cannot afford to rent an average apartment in Washington, D.C. So the average pay for a one-bedroom apartment is $2,000 a month. So when you look at that, people are forced to work, or they face what? Being attacked by the government like they're criminals. The Constitution is supposed to protect us. We're not supposed to have our liberties or freedoms taken away from us unless we've been sentenced, which means we were found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of committing a crime, and or we took a plea bargain. So to attack us for not working and paying the unrealistic rent rates, that I feel is a form of communism. To attack encampments due to the weather, I almost died in the winter. I'm fighting the government within the government, and they control our government. And they used winter to try and murder me. They used other homeless and had them take the winter gloves off of my hands. So when people are forced to sleep out here because of the depression we are in financially, our treasury is $36 billion or $1 trillion in debt. So that means technically no American has any assets or money because the government stole it from us. They printed off money they didn't have, and they put our nation in debt. And our currency value is based off of our national treasury. So they are having people in a delusional state of mind that they have something because they have numbers in a bank account and they print off a piece of paper. Now, if I go into Pete's Coffee and Tea and they let me use the bathroom for free, and I fill up a needle and I shoot up in the bathroom and I die, Pete's Coffee and Tea gets held liable. Now, if I go in there and I purchase a medium latte with skim milk, and I go into the bathroom without telling anybody, and I fill up a needle and I shoot up and die, it's not their fault. The Civil Rights Act protects me as a citizen.
Okay, my final question now. Do you think DC has enough resources for homeless?
DC has more than a lot of places. I'm being discriminated from a lot, but I want to say right now, DC right now is a miracle in a lot of the opportunities they have. I am going to be moving into an Oxford house. I'm waiting for an interview. I could have an interview tomorrow and move in, which means I won't have to sleep on the street anymore. Right now, I was told that it was $170 a week. I used to use drugs, and I have a lot of sobriety under my belt. And I became a certified peer support specialist that worked at the 12-step sober living house. You have to pay a certain amount of rent, but it's around $600 a month.
That ain't bad.
Cut from the average, right? With Donald Trump wanting to put the homeless in hospitals and or wellness camps, understand that be removing the homeless from sight. And that's dangerous because our protection is the general public. And where we talk about opportunities for the homeless, we need not just housing, but we need to become parts of the community. If we become parts of the community, if we relapse and start using drugs, other people in the community will hold us accountable. A lot of the mental health issues that I'm noticing homeless have, it's actually induced from being isolated. So even though we got thousands of people that are walking around us, people don't talk to us, they don't interact with us. If you have looked at the laws against isolation in jail and prisons, it's illegal to isolate an inmate over a period of time to start talking out loud to themselves. They might even start rubbing pee or poop on the cell walls. And they could even become aggressive, try and throw pee and poop on the guards. So when you look at that, you start seeing the homeless start talking out loud to themselves. Then you start seeing them talk aggressively out loud. Then you start seeing them become violent. So a lot of times I feel that homeless, I can't speak for any other homeless, but I feel, trying to empathize, that they're suffering. And they assume that other people know how they're feeling and don't understand how they can be treated that way. So they start striking out verbally, and then they become violent, not respecting the boundaries of others. If you were laying on the street feeling like you're gonna die, why would you respect others that you feel let you be like that?
What we got on this flag right here? What we got?
What we got? He wants criminals going. We need to start with him. Yeah, that's what we got. Yeah.
All right. So my first question for you is, what are your thoughts on him federalizing D.C.?
This is a manufactured crisis to try to divert our attention from releasing the Epstein files. The popo, whether they be federalized or local, the popo is not our friends. Well, they're saying that this is this will be the proving ground. They're going to start here and see how people here react, and then they're going to test it here and go on. I can tell Americans, I am out here all the time. I went to New York, I went to Miami, I went to Atlanta. Can I be crude? Of course. Americans are taking it up the ass without lube. They are not showing up, and they are allowing these fascists to do and run roughshod over them. The last opportunity America has, and I think it's too far already, it's too gone already, but the last opportunity is the 2026 elections. He is now actively rigging it with Florida, with Texas. Right. Florida is going to join, possibly Missouri. Once they rig the elections, we're going to be like Russia. America has no system to get you out of it. We have no flash election. So once they get power in 2026, if Americans stay inside under their couches, scared of their shadows, they have ceded their power to the fascists, and there's no coming back from it. Because once they have power, what is their motivation to give it back? Zero.
Have you noticed any changes happening in the city recently?
I am so scared. I am dodging bullets and I'm dodging rapists. Do you see me? I am scared. I'm running for my life here. Full of shit. I mean, seriously, but in all seriousness, I live 45 minutes away. As you can see, I'm an older woman. I come into D.C., I walk through D.C. all hours of the night, all hours in the morning, by myself, with this sign. So it's not to say that I am cautious and I'm walking with my pocketbook under my hand and nobody interferes with me. There are aggressive people on the street. There are people with mental illness. There are aggressive people. But if somebody shouts, I look and I take caution and I cross the street. Nobody has done anything to me. Yes, I have been a victim of crime here in D.C. Many people have been victims of crimes here and around the world. I am not dodging rapists. I am not dodging, you know what I mean? There's a manufactured crisis that he is telling the world that is all nonsense.
Life is too short. You have to enjoy your life, you know what I'm saying, and do the right thing. And be nice to each other, you know what I mean? And I wish like everything's gonna be okay and everybody like doing his own thing and going home. There is no crime, no violence, nothing happening. That's what and I need the tourists to be here like before. There is no tourists here, man.
So my first question for you is, what are your thoughts about Trump federalizing D.C.?
I'm extremely disappointed. You know, he went through a whole first 4 years when the crime rate was much, much worse than this. He has always had the power. Every president has always had the power. D.C. is unique, not like a state. And he didn't do it then, and the crime rate was worse. I think he tends to say the story he needs to say in order to make the impact he wants to make and distract from whatever he needs to distract from. He had a perfect opportunity in 2020. There was a little to-do down on the Capitol steps, and he could have called out the military at that point, but he didn't do it. So I have to wonder about his motivation.
And my next question for you is, since you've been here, have you been murdered or robbed?
No, and not in the first 5 years that I worked here either. I worked here in a corporate job for 5 years when I first moved to this area, and I rode a commuter bus in every day. Sometimes I stayed late to work. Never felt unsafe in the metro. Never got murdered, never got raped, never got mugged. I suppose I could say I'm lucky, but honestly, I never felt unsafe. I never experienced anything like that. I never witnessed it. And actually, I was here yesterday, and I made a little video and pointed out how incredibly nice everybody is and how well-behaved the population is, you know? So, yeah.
So my first question for you is, what are your thoughts on Trump federalizing D.C.?
Yeah, I am here for a lot of reasons. I used to live in the area, and I moved to Oregon, and I'm here visiting for my brother's funeral. He died by suicide, and he was an auditor for the EPA and got fired. And I'm here because he was a fucking fanatic for history, and he understands like how history works. And I know that the administration has something to do with it. he was really fucking smart and knew how this shit worked. And it's more like it's more than I think I have words for right now. But I know me and I know my brother, and we've been through a bunch of shit, and how I feel is like resilient. And I know you feel the same. It's like his pseudo sister.
So do you almost feel a personal aggression towards Donald Trump for that?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I feel aggression towards the popularization of like this patriarchal narrative, which is like that there is like this push towards like aloneness. I'm a therapist. I've been a therapist now for like 8 years, and it's different. Like I can work in a professional sense, but when it's your brother, it's just it's different. But I could see some signs, and so I mean, I think I'm also here as like a white woman in the United States, and like I think it's a trap to kind of fall into this like this pessimism and this feeling like now all of a sudden now I'm personally attacked, therefore it is important. I think this shit's been going on in the United States forever. This like aggression and this isolation and this them versus us. So I'm living outside of Portland right now. I was there for the protests against Derek Chauvin and like the murder of George Floyd. And like I was like tear gassed. Like I watched somebody almost die from a rubber bullet. Like I've seen the militarization of our already very militarized police force, and I think that's like what I want to try to say to any other like white women that are listening who do have like these like this voting power, this like whatever fucking commercialized power that we do have. Like it's been this way. It is not fucking new. And if you're just now tuning in, like here's the time to become like a like to tap into your community and tap into the grassroots movements and to listen to the people that have been affected by this for fucking ever. If I were to say anything, like check on your neighbors. A lot of this feels way too big for a single person to handle, but you know how to call on your neighbor. You know how to make a lunch appointment, and you know how to like listen with patience and with kindness. And if you're somebody who's in my kind of skin and my kind of positionality, like you do not have the right to be hopeless. And you have the right to be patient and to be radical. Because you don't know what people are going through.
Can I give you a hug? I don't want to make it uncomfortable. Oh my God, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm sure. You're so smart though. You're very intellectual, and that's how I can already know what type of man your brother was, because you're very fucking well spoken. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the interview. I really appreciate it so much. Hey, excuse me, brother. Are you on patrol? Can you do like a quick 30-second interview? All right. It's all good, homie. Thank you so much. I'm doing small interviews about Trump federalizing D.C. I was wondering if y'all had anything to offer for the small interview.
No, thank you.
All right, cool. It's all good, brother. Y'all have a good one. Thank you. Yup. I think those are fucking undercover agents. They got little earpieces, bro. Hey, excuse me, sir. What do you think about MPD being controlled by the federal government? All right, they don't want to talk, guys. They're not allowed to talk. My first question for you is, I'm not sure if you heard the news. What are your thoughts on Donald Trump federalizing the city of D.C.?
I think it's based on some evidence that he knows about, that other people have seen, crime statistics and things like that. Okay. So
I was going to say, because the D.C. crime statistics, at least from the D.C. Police Department, say that it's at a 30-year low besides 2023. Do you think that this is a power grab, or do you think that this is a legitimate response?
I saw news articles that said that a lot of stuff was falsified based on the statistics. So
okay.
I think, it's legitimate, but...
Do you think D.C. is the first step in controlling more cities across the United States?
I would say that's kind of a stretch, because, I just think that's kind of a stretch, but I don't know.
Since you've been here, have you noticed any, like, National Guard troops, any, like, federal agencies, like DEA, FBI out here?
Not personally. I've been touring, so I went by the FBI building. I haven't seen anyone, but I also hear that they're like deploying everybody from like the Postal Service to the FBI to like rounding up immigrants. So I'm not surprised. I haven't actually seen anyone.
My next question is, do you think D.C. is part of a larger trend and that this is just the first city of many that's going to be kind of controlled like this?
Maybe. I think there are a bunch of states that are doing already what Trump wants them to, so he's happy to sit back and let them do whatever. But the states that aren't doing what he wants them to, then he's gonna go in there and be like, oh, legally you have to do what I say. So I think it really depends. I don't think it's about to be the DC is gonna be in charge of everything as much as it's gonna be like, if you're doing what Trump wants you to, then you can do whatever you want versus...
When in reality, they should be able to do whatever they want to. What are your thoughts on the federalization of D.C.? Do you think that this is the first step in Donald Trump's authoritarian agenda? Interesting, so you're a Trump supporter. MPD don't want to talk. I ain't no DEA, ain't no armed guards, it ain't nothing to see out here. It seems like some of the people are outraged. It seems like some of the people think this is something that's necessary. If you live in DC, I'd be concerned for you. Make sure you ain't drinking and driving, ain't doing nothing you wouldn't normally do. But besides that, I don't think DC is that fucking crazy. I don't see no National Guard, I don't see no DEA. And I hope the city can work through this tough time because federalization is a scary thing. Hey, excuse me, does anyone have any thoughts on the federalization of DC? Hell yeah. Brother. Hold on, where'd you guys just come from?
We just came from the bar right over there.
Fuck yeah!
Buster's, that's the bar, Buster's.
All right, brother, my first question for you is, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump federalizing D.C.?
Dude, it's a lot, man. It's, right now, I don't know if there's a whole lot going on up here, but I can tell you, it's a lot. And you know what? It's scaring me sometimes.
Can I say one thing on that note?
Come on, brother. You can be in here. You can be here.
I want to say, next Tuesday, 6:15, come to the National Mall, watch the Busters bust all over these kickball teams.
Whoa!
Boom!
What are your thoughts on MPD becoming feds now?
What's MPD?
MPD is like Metro Police. That's like the DC Police Department. They're feds now, basically.
Feds?
They're basically feds now.
I don't like that one bit. Because, MPD, Metro Police, they're feds?
Yes. Now.
Because I'll be on, I'll be on the Metro, drinking. I don't know if you got to cut that out, but
You're good, bro. This ain't NBC, bro. You're good.
I want to do my thing on the Metro and have a good time. And if they're feds now, then... that's stopping me from doing what I want to do,
So then maybe this shit's working, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it might be. Yeah, you might be right. Because there's worse things that happen on the Metro than me drinking a beer,
Real shit. Drinking a beer should be legal on the Metro.
Drinking a beer should be 100% legal.
What do you want to say to Americans? If you could get out to every single American right now, what would you tell them?
I think my man Creaser already said it, but Tuesday at the National Mall, the Busters are going to bust once again for the second round of the playoffs. Come on!
Hell yeah, brother. I appreciate that so much. Thanks, homie. Y'all have a good one. Be safe. All right, y'all.
Walk off today. Shout out Kermit.
Let's fucking go.